Okay, here's kind of how composite functions can apply to real life. It would mainly be applied if you're writing some sort of like computer program or something like that, where you write a rule for the equation. You can just randomly enter in numbers. Okay. A store selling very expensive items will on February 8th sell any item for $50 less than the listed price. On any day in February, the store will give a discount of 15% to any customer who can prove that he or she contributed to local charity. So the first one says compose an equation for $50 off an unknown price. Okay, so X is my unknown price, X dollars. Now, if $50 is taken off, we'd subtract 50, so it's going to be X minus 50. Okay, compose an equation for a 15% discount of the unknown price. So I've got X dollars, but with percents we multiply, not add or subtract. So I'm going to take 100% of the price, and if 15% is taken off, what percent does that leave me left to pay? 85, which is 0.85. So I times by 0.85. Now that we got to write that correctly, and that's 0.85x. Okay, compose the equation. Okay, when you see that word compose, you need to call this equation f of x equals, and put a 1 in front of that, because it's going to help you later. And that's going to be g of x equals. Okay, compose the two equations together so that the $50 off comes first, any price, okay? Because I don't know the price. It could be anything. Okay, so I want to write a rule, a program for it. Okay, if they give me a price, it'd be easy. You know, you just subtract 50 and then take it times 0.85. But I want to write a rule. If I was writing like a computer program, I'd need to know how to write the equation for it. So here's how you compose them. You're going to use put two parentheses with an X and put your little blank circle for input. Now, which one's the $50 off? Is that the F or the G? Which one has $50 taken off? It's the F. Now, you put that closest to the X, because if the X is my price, and if the $50 off needs to be applied to the X first, I need an F closest to the X, and then G. Now, what I do then is write the G down, 0.85x, remove the X, and make your parentheses, and you're going to put the entire F in there, so 1x minus 50. Then it's PEMDAS. Parentheses, no. Exponents you won't have to worry about. Multiplication, yes. So 0.85x. Then I take 0.85 times 50, and that's 42.5. Okay. Because you know, so when you go to a cash register, it'll give you the price. Well, somebody had to what? Somebody had to program that. Okay, so if somebody had to program that, then that's the equation they'd use if they want $50 off before the 85%. Now, compose them so that 15% discount comes first. Okay, now the 15% discount is the 0.85x. That's your G, so you got to put your G closest to the X. So write your F first, so 1x minus 50. Get the X out. And you put your G in, so 0.85x. Parentheses, nothing you do about it. Exponents, no. Multiplication, yeah, just this. So that's going to be 0.85x minus 50. Can't add or subtract. Okay, if an item costs $400, calculate. So if a cash registers, the person writing the program in home office would want the 15% applied first. This is the equation they'd enter. All depends on what they want to come first. So let's put $400 let's say we put $400. What this means is that now equals X. So go to part C, and we're going to put 400 there. So 0.85 times 400 minus 42.5. And then and then they also want the other way. So if I got this, I'm going to replace the X with, again, 400 minus 50. That'll give me my two answers. 0.85 times 400 minus 42.5. That's $297.5, so $297.50. And 0.85 times 400 minus 50, that's going to give me $290. So it's a lot, so as you can see, not a lot, but it's cheaper. It's going to be cheaper this way, using this equation where they do the 15% discount first. Okay, next one. You make a purchase at a local hardware store, but what you bought is too big to take home in your car. For a small fee, you arrange to have the hardware store deliver your purchase for you. You pay for your purchase plus the sales tax plus a delivery fee. The taxes are 7% and the fee is $20. Write an equation for the $20 delivery fee being added to your unknown cost of X dollars. So I take X, but this time it's $20 being added to the cost. Okay. Write an equation that shows the 7% sales tax being applied to your unknown costs. So we got X, I multiply if it's a percent. So what a tax does, it cause a cost to go up. So that's 107%, which is 1.07. So X times 1.07, that's 1.07X. Now to compose the equations, you need a title. F of X equals, put a 1 in front, and G of X equals. I like to have multipliers on the X, that's why I put the 1 there. Compose the equations so that the tax is applied first. Okay, here is my tax equation. Okay, so that needs to be closest to the X. X needs to go through the G before it goes to the F. That's how to think about that. Here's my price, wants to come through that first. So F is 1X plus 20. Now replace your X with the G, so 1.07X. And all you do, just multiply 1.07X plus 20. Okay, now the delivery fee applied first. Okay. Delivery fee is the F function, so the X would have to go through that first. Now when I'm working it forward, I start with the G, get the X out, and put the F in, so it's going to be 1X plus 20. Okay, so it's going to be, you got to multiply twice now. It's going to be 21.4. Okay, so here's my two. Figure out the cost of a $500 china cabinet with each composition. So I'm going to put $500 here and $500 here and see what I get. So 1.07 times $500 plus 20. And then 1.07 times $500 plus 21.4. 1.07 times 500 plus 20. I got 555 for that one. And $556.4 for that one, so $556.40. Okay. Don't worry about the next one. Put a giant X through it. Got two more. During a sale, music stores selling drum kits for, I don't like that one either. Okay. Actually, I am going to do that one. Okay. Sorry. Put an X through it. I'm sorry. During a sale, music stores selling drum kits for 20% off. Preferred customers also receive 15% off. Write an equation that shows 20% off to your unknown cost, X dollars. So X, it's a percent, so times, but not by the percent there. You got to take 100 minus 20. 80%, which is 0.80. So I times that by 0.80, and that is 0.80x. Okay, write an equation that shows 15% off being applied to your drum set for unknown cost. Multiplication. So I take 100 minus 15, that's 85%, which is 0.85. So I times by 0.85, and that's going to be 0.85x. You got to write it correctly on the multiplication. So to compose, that's going to be f of x, and that can just be g of x. It's kind of the two letters they always pick. I don't know why they pick f and g so often, but okay, let's do some composing here. 15% off first, that's the g, so the x has to cross the g, and then f. And down here it's going to be the f, and then the g. Okay, so f, so it's going to be 0.80x. Replace your x here with 0.85x. So you just multiply that. 0.80 times 0.85. I got 0.68x. Okay. G. Okay, so G is 0.85x. Replace the x with your 0.80x. 0.8. And I got 0.68x. Okay, well, they're the same, so it doesn't really matter which one they do first, so I'm only going to get one answer. So I put 248 in for x here, so 0.68 times 248. I don't need to do the other one because it's the exact same. 168.64. That's how when they pop your number into the register, it goes so quickly. That would be the people writing the program for it. Okay, last one. Stores having a 12% off sale on everything they sell. You personally have a 10% off coupon on anything to buy. Write an equation that shows 12% off your unknown purchase price of X dollars. Okay, so it's percent, so times, not minus, not plus, times 12% off, 88%, so that's 0.88. Okay, so it's going to be 0.88x, and that's F, and that we title that f of x because I know I'm going to have to compose later. Write an equation that shows $10 off your unknown purchase price of X dollars. So I've got X, and $10 off is minus 10. When they give you actual money that's taken off, you add or subtract it. Nothing to do there, just G of X. Put a 1 in front because I like those multipliers on the X's. Makes me feel better. Okay. Set up the composition. So 12% off first. So X has to go through the 12%, which is F, and the G. Now for the other one, F would have to go through the $10 off, which is the G, and the F. So the G is 1x minus 10. And we put the F in for it, so 0.88x. So 0.88x minus 10, and that's all you have to do. Okay, Start with the F, so 0.88x. Get your x out and replace it with the G. Okay, G is 1x minus 10. Again, you can't do, there's no exponents to worry about. So 0.88x. Then 0.88 times 10 is 8.8, so they're a little bit different. Okay. $100 for $150 items, so we're going to put 150 here and 150 here. So 0.88 times 150 minus 10 here. 0.88 times 150 minus 10. Okay, I got $122 in that scenario. If the 12% off's first. Or sorry, this one's minus 8.8. Okay, sorry, I wrote the same thing down twice. That's 8.8. $123.2, so $123.20. All right, guys, that's for that exam. That's today. You have one problem left. I hope it's been informative.